wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah!
Happy holidays, everybody. You know, last year I did a version of this show where I talked about my 6 favorite metal Christmas songs, and the real reason I did that was because those types of songs are really what I listen to during the holiday season. I hate radio stations around Christmas time because they play the same lame, boring songs. And you know what's wrong when you get homicidal rage when you hear Jingle Bell Rock. And that's how a lot of metalheads feel around the holidays. They feel like there's nothing for them. But if you look closely, there are a couple of things. Like, anytime a metal band covers a Christmas song, it's usually pretty good. August Burns Red just put out a Christmas album. It Dies Today covers Feliz Navidad. Marco Hietala's First Noel is amazing. Anything Trans-Siberian Orchestra covers. And did I have to mention again the single greatest metal compilation I've ever heard, bar none? But I think I missed a lot of songs, and you in the comments and a couple of messages sent directly to me were happy to remind me that, yes, I did. But now I have a show called The Hit List, and it's December, so I figure, you know what? Let's do another metal Christmas songs list, but I don't want this list to be overpopulated with covers. I'm looking mostly for originality here. I want metal Christmas songs, not just metal Christmas covers, and there's a lot I forgot to mention. So let's rectify that situation right now. In keeping with the times, here are my top 6 other favorite metal Christmas songs.
Told the ancient Utah tale. La 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 la.
And we're going to start off this countdown strong with the stupidest Christmas song I've ever heard in my life. And sweet Jesus' birthday, do I love it. Okay, first of all, if you don't like goofy humor in your metal, you're not going to like this. Steel Panther is the closest I think you can come to being a joke band without actually being one. All their songs are about having sex, loving heavy metal, pretty much a parody of 80s hair metal bands, but the thing that sets them apart from the rest is that they obviously have a deep appreciation for the music, rather than using it as a target for ridicule, and the music reflects that, this song being a shining example. The musicianship is excellent, despite the fact that at its core, it's about a Santa looking like a Chippendales dancer, and every other word is a euphemism for dick.
You take a little crowds for an exotic dancer. Yeah, you can see his North Pole if you look at his pants, sir.
I don't think I've ever actually heard a song about Santa Claus getting down with some ho-ho-hos. Alright, maybe I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, but this is definitely the dirtiest Christmas song I've ever heard. But it's not the only one about tapping some Yuletide tail, but we'll get to that one later.
Sexy, sexy Santa. It's the UK, USA, Brazil, and Japan. It's sexy, sexy Santa. Making love to every Christmas loving woman in my socket.
This one's just fun. I think the band really rounded out their sound on the Balls Out album, but this was definitely my favorite song on their debut. Now, I know I said I was going to avoid covers, but this one is really one in the million. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie? Was it put on DVD solely to keep Hot Topic in business? Who knows? And honestly, who cares? The movie is awesome, and I make a tradition of watching it every year with my equally dysfunctional friends and family, and as a metal fan, I was happy to see that a few years ago there was a compilation release called Nightmare Revisited, and it gave updated versions of songs featured in the flick, including a couple by metal artists, all of which I've stopped listening to since high school. Ha! Marilyn Manson. But I'd be lying if I said that this song was not a match made in heaven. Maybe hell. Korn is one of those bands like Disturbed where if you say it was very instrumental in your metal upbringing, you're gonna get ridiculed for it, but honestly they shouldn't. Korn was a lot of people's first really heavy metal band, and their creepy tone mixed with the concept of capturing Santa Claus, mixed with the fact that one of the original characters singing this was played by Pee Wee Herman, this is a deeply disturbing song. Say what you will about Korn nowadays, especially with their Skrillex stuff, but their sound was made for stuff like this.
Wait, I've got a better plan to catch this big red lobster man. Let's pop him in a boiling pot, and when he's done, we'll butter him up. Get him the Santa Claus, throw him in a box. Bury him for 90 years, let's see him be hot.
A lot of the songs on the compilation sound like they're very good covers, but this one genuinely sounds like a disturbing Korn song. Korn would do a covers album, honestly, looking for the creepiest songs they could find to cover in their own special style. And again, this is good to play on either holiday. My friends used to work in a GameStop around Christmas, and I actually saw people walk into the store, hear this playing over the loudspeaker, and drag their kids right out. And isn't scaring children what Christmas is all about? I am racking my mind trying to figure out where the hell I heard this song for the first time. And I'm coming up with absolutely nothing, but thank God I did.
Oh, this list's rather long.
I've always liked Sum 41. All Killer No Filler was probably the second album I ever bought with my own money. People tend to write them off because they're a lot more mainstream than other bands in their genre, but the more I listen to them from album to album, their influences in metal are very apparent, especially ones from Metallica and Iron Maiden. But if you think they're not metal enough, then how about Tenacious D?
Hey now, Santa, I'm writing to you, 'cause there's a lot of cool shit I want. I know I've been naughty, but cutting me some slack, 'cause there's a lot of cool shit I want.
I think it's obvious why this song is on this list, and if it needs to be said, I'm a Jack Black fan. I think because he really does have an appreciation for heavy metal culture. If you need further information on that, check out his song, Dio. But the blend of metal and humor here is really enjoyable, with some great, believable lyrics. I am actually imagining Jack Black sitting in his footy pajamas with images of Satan and candy canes on them, writing this letter, because everything on this list, I can honestly see Black demanding from St. Nick.
I want a solid gold Harley with machine guns on the front. A Molly Crew lunchbox filled with sticky birds.
I don't know whether this was on a compilation or it was released as a bonus single online or something, but I would love to hear more stuff like this. I haven't been this surprised by a Jack Black metal mix since The Warlock off the Probot album. I don't think this needs to be said, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you don't like ACDC, you're wrong.
Jingle bells, jingling all the day.
You know, as far back as I can remember, one of the first presents I got under the tree that I can actually remember opening was ACDC's High Voltage. I also got Good Charlotte's Young and the Restless that year. Don't judge me, I was young. But ACDC is definitely one of my favorite bands. They put on one of the greatest live shows of any band of any universe. But I'll admit that this song doesn't sound any different than any other ACDC song, the exception of the fact that there's some sleigh bells in the background. I think one of my favorite quotes of all time is when Angus Young said, "I'm sick to death of people saying we've made 11 albums that sound exactly the same. We've made 12 albums that sound exactly the same." This is another one of those songs that use so much innuendo, it's amazing that it never got any flack for being so dirty at the time it was released. Some of the images are worse than in the Steel Panther song, but I think that that's because rather than going out for flat-out raunchiness, the lyrics here rely heavily on double entendres.
Get a date with the woman in red. Wanna be in heaven with free in a bed sitting there.
I hear you coming down my smokestack. I want to ride your reindeer and ring the bells. By the way, I think reindeer is the least sexy euphemism for a vag I've ever heard in my life, but it's still an enjoyable song, and it's great music about getting a girl under your mistletoe. You know, decking the halls, spreading the good cheer, warming up by the Yule log. Anybody? Dicks. I'm talking about dicks.
Ring the bells, yeah.
Now, the last two on the list, I think I could have easily substituted two others on the first list, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't because, well, let's be honest, you guys were very vocal about which ones could have stayed off that list. Yes, I know. But this one I actually got threats from. I'm reading this off the script, and somebody actually sent me a message saying, "How could you not include No Presents for Christmas? You're stupid and should die." Thanks, random King Diamond fan. I remember reading Revolver magazine, and they used to have a little biography section in the back that highlighted one artist, and they were talking about King Diamond, but I remember there being a little picture in the corner with a little caption underneath it, and I was immediately drawn to that because it was a picture of King Diamond and a reindeer. which is two things that just don't mix normally. But it said that No Presents for Christmas was the first satanic Christmas album, and I immediately ran to my computer and went to LimeWire, because I had LimeWire at the time, and I got No Presents for Christmas. And yes, it has firmly staked its spot as number 2 on this list.
There's no presents, not this Christmas. There's no presents. Tom and Jerry, bring the cherry.
It's just so weird to me because King Diamond has such a unique sound, and Merciful Fate is so closely tied with that heavy metal image and the occult, according to the PMRC. Again, thanks guys. But this was actually my first introduction to King Diamond, besides the Merciful Fate covers on Metallica's Garage Inc., and honestly, it's a good representation, which is pretty scary. That being said, if you pay attention to the lyrics, what? Why are we counting on Donald Duck to help anybody? You know what? Never mind. Stupid lyrics aside, it's still a pretty good song. I mean, it's King Diamond. You can't really go wrong. Plus, it has one of the best King Diamond evil laughs I've ever heard. The only one I think that tops it is the one for Sweet Dreams off the Probot album. I'm mentioning Probot a lot. Seriously, listen to Probot. It's really good. You know, for as long as I've been working in radio, no matter what station I've been working for the past 5 years or so, every December, no matter what I'm doing, I've done a heavy metal Christmas show. I like dedicating 2 hours to playing great heavy metal Christmas songs, whether they be covers or whether they be originals, like I've shown on this show, and the last hit list for that matter. But the thing that makes it great is that every year I still am looking for new stuff, and last year I was looking for songs to play, and I went on Google, I looked up metal Christmas lists, because everybody has a couple. And this song was on every list, and I've never heard of this band before. But this song is amazing. Heavy Christmas by 220 Volt is without a shadow of a doubt my favorite Christmas song that is not a traditional or a cover. I love this song. It makes you feel better just listening to it. You have a feeling that this should be played on regular radio because, as opposed to some other kind of depressing Christmas songs, this one does make you want to have a Merry Christmas. I've listened to 220 Volt's other stuff, but I think this really sticks out for me, and I'm gonna say most of that is because it's a gimmick of being a Christmas song, but the rest of it is because it's very, very positive. And it leaves you full of what the season's spirit should be all about. It's brotherhood, it's looking forward to the holiday rather than dreading it. It's being close to one another. It's everything that the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit embodies, and it should. And that's why 220 Volt's Heavy Christmas is something that I now listen to every year, and hopefully you should too. That'll just about do it for this edition of the Hit List. Thank you all for watching. I am working on my other videos. The full album review for ICP will be out soon, and an end-of-the-year wrap-up for It's Just My Opinion, where I'm going to try and do every request you guys have given me. So I'm going to try and work on that as quickly as I can. I'm trying to get it done before the end of the year, but I don't know if I honestly can. But in case I don't see you guys before the year hits, I want to wish everyone out there a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Joyous Winter Solstice, Happy Feast of St. Stephen's, Happy St. Distaff's Day, Happy Three Kings Day, Happy Boxing Day, Happy Day of Goodwill, Happy Hansel Monday, Wonderful Yuletide, Feliz Las Posadas, a fantastic Night of the Radishes, a Happy Festivus for the rest of us, and of course, a Happy New Year to everyone out there. Where's the eggnog?
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry, better not pout. I'm telling you